Welcome back. I'm Martin and we should be online. Let me check this here on my little tablet. Anyhow, Bernie, you're already in the chat, so please, let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, all that stuff. Because as you all know, I'm sitting here all alone in my studio and the only thing that I have are my displays over there, and if they are green, then theoretically I'm online. Practically only you can tell me. Yes, it looks good. I can see myself. So now you let me know if you can even hear me, but it should be fantastic. It should be fine. And it's Soundiron Day. And again, passt. Super, Bernie. Danke. Again, I lied to you. Because in the thumbnail of this and in the title there is written that I will explore Harmonic Tides by Soundiron. But they do have so many amazing libraries, and they do have so many amazing libraries even at a very amazing price point, that today I will sneak in even something that I rediscovered, the Knightson Box Grand Piano. Because this is one beast of a piano library. If you already have all the piano libraries in the world, like we all do, but you would like to have something different. And I think as the Harmonic Tides, this is a sample library based on cello and double bass samples, which is aimed at movie scoring, video game scoring and that stuff, because it can pretty quick. David, hey, nice to see you. It can pretty quick lay out a mood, an atmosphere. You may know that I hosted a scoring competition with my friend Andreas Dormann, where we had this movie of this man sitting in this train station, which is a metaphor for life. And, he was just sitting there. And thinking, and in those scenes normally there isn't much music needed if the director doesn't tell you exactly that. But normally, it's just more about creating a mood, underlining that story, that feeling, and there really one note with the right sound can tell way more and help the story way more than a complicated chord progression, complicated whatsoever. So Harmonic Tides, in my opinion, from what I found out so far, might be an amazing library for this kind of work. It's an amazing library, like all the Soundiron libraries, because they look so. I will switch pretty quick. Then I will switch, to the screen so you can see my screen too. They look pretty innocent. If you look at them, their interface normally is pretty straightforward, pretty innocent, but there are so many features hidden in their engines. So today is really, again, know your tools, know your libraries, because it's definitely worth it. Knowing even, the Soundiron libraries, what the engine can do, because it really can do a lot. So yeah, good mood juice in the good mood mug, even this evening, obviously. So yeah, what will we do? We will switch here. So you can see me little and can see my screen big. I'm placing the headphones on and we will start with Harmonic Tides, and I will go, of course, a little bit, as I said, through the engine, because yes. So you do have in all the Soundiron libraries 4 layers, layer 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case there is only layer 1 switched on, and then here normally you do have, you have the volume, attack, release and that stuff, the width, the vibrato, depth and rate. Here under width, you do have even another nice feature, which is key span. So all the deep samples and the deep sounds, they go to the left. The high sounds go automatically to the right. If you switch this one on, you do have the panning. You do have the pitch in semitones or centitones. And then here you do have the category of sounds. Treating myself to black hole. David, that's good, and believe it or not, I have prepared black hole myself for today's live stream. And here, yes, you do have the categories. So there are the tides, the swells, the ambiances, and then some sub synth. And then here you do have the various sounds within one category, and I think already from there you can tell how much there is in every category. And this is only layer 1. First thing pretty cool about the libraries, layer 1 in this case is purple, and all the knobs and buttons and everything here is purple too, so you know precisely you are on layer 1. If you go to layer 2, you see everything gets green, so you know precisely you are in layer 2, and so on and so forth. What you do have in this library too is a space, which is a virtual stage that you know even from Damage 2, for example, or Project Sam in Lineage. They even have this stage and that stuff where you can place the sound in the room. And you do have here an options page for the LFO, the filter and the arpeggiator. And those options, they work only on that precise layer. And that is pretty important, because there are libraries out there that do have effects like this, but they work on all the sounds then together, not with Soundiron. So whatever I put on here, for example, an LFO or an arpeggiator, then only is on that layer, which again is underlined by the color code. So I go to layer 3, it's blue. You see here now is everything blue because now, and so on. So I hope you get the idea right away. Those libraries, even if they look pretty innocent on the first look, they are beasts, because they do have quite some stuff going on behind the scenes. Then you do have this infamous random button. You click this one and then everything just gets set by random. If you have some time on a Saturday afternoon and you would like to play, this button can be lots of fun, because every time you click it, you have no idea what will come out. And then you even have here the X fader between a layer A and a layer B. This means of these 4 layers, you can put one on those X fade to A and the other one on B. Then you know, right click, assign this, learn MIDI CC automation. You have this then on whatever fade or knob you have, and you can even blend then between those layers. And I think it's time to play, to get through some of the sounds. First things first, and then we will get even to the Knights and Box Grant, because I have something in mind, talking again about this scoring competition, how you could have used Harmonic Tides and the Knights and Box Grant together to tell your story. I will start here with the Tides, and another thing, you have an extended range here. I switch this off, you see only blue keys, so these are... I don't hear anything. Just a second. Sorry, I didn't test this before the stream. My mistake. There we are. Now I can hear it. That's the original range of the samples, but you can extend the range, and then you do have the full keyboard with those sounds, and they go pretty deep. So in the Tides, let's start with the Tides, you do have various sounds, and you do have the resonant, cascade, all. Then you do have them in piano, mezzo forte, and forte. So if I go to the piano, obviously, then you do have only the piano samples, because every single sound has 4 velocity layers if you want. And then if I go to forte, then you do have forte samples. But if you go to all, then you have on the mod wheel, you see here is the blend, the possibility to blend through those layers. So this is not a volume change, this is really changing the samples that are triggered. So yeah, talking about underscoring for a movie. This sound, only this sound. Let it sit there. Now let it sit there. This is something that I prepared. And let it do its thing if you want. Then, oh, here, that's even cool. You know, I had it before. The vibrato depth. And the rate. So yeah, a little bit like this, and you already have quite a nice sound just sitting there. As we said, and here the space, you see. I just drag it around in this, on this virtual stage. That's pretty cool. And then the options, for example, I can put on an LFO. The beat here, you have it in milliseconds or time sync to the beat, so you can say fourth notes, eighth notes, whatsoever. Filter or the arpeggiator. And another thing that I would like to tell you right away, this library at the moment is $29. $29, you know, I hate the word no-brainer, but for $29, there aren't many things that you can get. From my side, a big thanks really to Craig Peters, who sent me an NFR copy of Harmonic Tides, so I can check this with you and for you. And let's go through some of the sounds. We will remain in the tides. The Dryad. And there you really can hear, because they used only samples with a very close mic. This means very close to the strings, where normally on a close mic you even get the noise of the bow, you know, scratching over the string. Only, you know, the further you get away, the warmer the sound gets, and the more the sound gets, as we know it normally being in the audience, you know. But the players, they have a completely different sound. They can hear the bow over the strings, and this one you can hear it. Then I can, same thing here with the mod wheel. Go through the various layers. Personally, I like the sound. I like the sound a lot because it's so how can I explain what I feel if I hear it? You know, you think to recognize something, but at the same time you don't. You know, you realize it's not synthesized sound, but you can't tell right away that it was a stringed instrument until you know, and then you recognize. This is what I like about it most, maybe. Then another sound in the tides category, the last one is the faster all. I always would play only the all sound, and then with the mod wheel play a little bit through the velocity layers. And just to tell you, those sounds are out of the box. There are no external effects involved, and I'm playing only with one layer. I didn't even start to stack up all the 4 layers. Then the next one in this one here is called the filter all. And that's a nice one. Low, really low. And there is your atmosphere. And there is your atmosphere. This is what I told you at the beginning. Harmonic Tides, where I personally see it, where I really can imagine to use it. And just you know how I go in the live streams. I start to play as a child, and then in my mind I already realize, wow, some effects on this one, which on Sunday we will have the prize draw of our scoring competition. Then somewhere next week, Andreas and I, we will have a Zoom call with everybody who participated, where you all are invited to participate, where we will show each other the score that we did. I have no idea what Andreas did. Andrea has no idea what I did. And then I will make a live stream for sure where I go through my composition, where I go through my score. So I will show you, not maybe track by track, but part by part what exactly I did and how I used external effects, because I used a free piano library on mine, but I used a bunch of effects on it. So the sound is pretty cool and the sound is mine. It's not an out-of-the-box sound. So even on the Soundiron libraries, you do have here an FX rack, and I love it. I really love it, because it's really like one of those racks that we once had with all the effects in, and then you just can switch on or switch off, another element here, and then you switch it on or you switch it off. Really, I like this kind of visuals, and just a little bit of reverb and a little bit of a screamer, for example. Distortion, a screamer, for example. Just as to show you how cool it is. This is not the sound we started with. No, this was the sound. And just putting on reverb and a screamer. Nice stuff, and we will do this later and even with the box grant. So we go back here, we are still in the tides, filter all, then the next one is in smoke all. Even this one. The piano samples intrigue me. In smoke all, then redelay all. There's quite some stuff going on. Yeah, think about that man sitting alone in the train station, having lots and lots and lots of thoughts going through his mind. And there is no way where he really can grab to. His thoughts are just there, and there is the music you need. That's exactly the mood. We drench this in reverb. Very interesting library. So, redelay, Revenant. Or reversion. That's a beautiful one. That's a beautiful one. I prepared something here. Get to this later. But let me... That's beautiful. Quickly, just some percussion underneath. Piano roll. And just quickly, a piano, very quick, a free piano. There it is. On the free piano, reverb, lots of reverb. Amazing stuff. It has a, yeah, let's say an 80s, 90s vibe. Peter Gabriel, yes, an amazing example. Genesis, maybe a little bit of yellow even in some of their tunes. And I just keep this. You never know what for. We open up a new track to continue, and we do not forget to save, which I'm in need of a new computer, and I'm really not sure if to get the Mac Mini or the Mac Studio. I'm not sure if I really need the Mac Studio, because the Mac Mini with the M4 processor anyhow sounds like an amazing beast. So yeah, if you have suggestions for me, let me know. The only thing that I know is that I will need 64 gigabyte of RAM. That's the only thing. For the rest, I still didn't decide. Reversion all. And then there is the dirty bass harmonics. Oh yes. That's getting pretty experimental. And harmonic tide. That's again another one, just amazing. Those have been the tides. Let's go to the swells. We start with the first one, the draw all. Even those, they can add a layer to your track, just getting movement into it, or another spice on your dish, if you will. But take one note and let it do its thing. If there's dialogue, if you would want the viewer to think, to reflect, that's it. That's it. There's a lot of stuff going on. Absolutely beautiful. Then we do have the father all. So take this one, for example, put shimmer on it. Amazing. Those are amazing samples. Then swells, the next one is the fault all. Vast. Should we go there? Yes, we should. Let's do this. Audio units. Vast. Stereo. Start with this one. That sounds like a perfect match to me. Vast on those harmonic tides, because you know the sound itself already is really interesting, really doing a lot. let's continue. Fold all. Rent all. Then there is the relay all. I really like those swells. One thing that I didn't find out, that's really just me. If there's any chance to time sync those swells, or maybe am I just stupid? Maybe they are time synced. No. That would be pretty cool if you would have the chance just for quicker working. If you could time sync them, like, okay, 4 bars and then it goes down, something like this. If not, yeah, you drag the MIDI regions around. And then the next one, the unsteady all. I like this one a lot. Beautiful. Then there is the onward. So it's so beautiful. You know, those swells, they're coming in waves. That's And then there is the vaporator. What to expect this one? Space. That's cool. Yeah, then quickly, ambiances. Same thing, ambiances. There are many. 16, if I remember. 20 ambiances. Just play through some of them. Sorry, I already like this. Okay, can you imagine? I can. I like it. I can. Come on. Please. Okay. Put this one down here. Quickly. I already have something in mind. Wow, I like it. Just a cello. Something like this. Which, by the way, guten Abend. Which, by the way, when I will do my, let's call it masterclass on how I scored my entry for that scoring competition, I will show you, if you work with libraries like this that do have those articulations, then don't use the same one for every chord. Key switch through the various and it will sound like a real live cello player. That's it. So even on this one, we will put some piano just to show you how quickly you can come up with something. And those sounds, again, they are just out of the box. I didn't spend half an hour now changing and choosing the right external effects to make those things even spicier. I like it. I like it. Harmonic Tides, well done. Soundiron, well done. Very inspiring. Here we come in. Percussion. This is what I like. This is what the library needs to do with me. And that's just me, really, that's just me. But I need, when I play with it the very first time, I didn't have much time to play with Harmonic Tides. Some of you know last week I've been in Belgium, so there wasn't time to play with it. So for me, even it's more or less, the first time really going into detail. And if then, the ideas just start to flow, then I know, yes, this might make it. Yeah, I won't say into my template. I'm not working with templates because my projects, they are really too different one from the other. So I can't really work with the template, but there are libraries that I remember. Then the next ambience. This is a little thin on the low end. This one might need a little bit of EQing. Next ambience. Yeah. Low end. Speaking about low end. There we are. Nice stuff. Next ambience. Because I really would like to go even into the Knights in Box Grand. You need to know it. You need really. So. This one is even more beautiful than the one we had before. Sorry, I need to go quickly back here and change it to ambience number 5. Bist du deppert? Würden wir bei uns daheim sagen. Okay, maybe it's too much for what is going on underneath, because I was inspired by the other sound, but beautiful. Next one, number 6. What we can do as we play with this one, on layer 1, I have ambience number 6 here. I can go to layer 2, which is switched off. I switch it on. Here I do have the tides in smoke all, just to... There's the volume. But even here I would like to have another ambience. In this case ambience 1, which sounds like this. If it's soloed. Here we have layer 1, which sounds like this. If you combine them, and you have 4 of them. You have 4 of them because, for example, let's go to layer 3. Let's overdo this right away. On layer 3, we could use a sub-synth sustain like this. We have sine, sine soft, sine warm. Sine warm 2. Don't like it. So soft. Pink noise, triangle, white noise, square. This one, and just layer it, you know, with the others. And then, just to show you how cool they are, we are on layer 3. I go to options, I switch on the LFO, but not on the pitch. On the volume, time synced. Whoa, 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 you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it, but that's amazing. Of course, even interesting, for example, on the ambience. Let's switch this off. Let's go back to layer 2. And here I switch on the LFO on the pitch. Again, talking about movie scoring. Now we have this one layer which is slightly going off pitch. We combine it with the other. So you have one sound which is stable. And you have the other one which is then slightly going off pitch. That's the secret of horror movie scoring. This stuff. Which just creates unease, which just creates tension. It just gets you nervous, and most of the viewers won't even understand why. They will just, you know, start to feel uncomfortable because of this simple trick, really. Yeah, know your tools, know your libraries, and compliments to Soundiron. I think I should present more of their libraries because they do have amazing libraries. And I say again, Ex Machina, not being a guitarist, it's me being too stupid to program it. But that's such an amazing beast of a electric guitar, maybe one of the best out there. Voices of Rage. If you're into metal, into progressive whatsoever, Voices of Rage. And yes, in maximum 5 minutes we will go to the Nights in Box Grand, which is another amazing library, and it's Black Friday, so even this one is on a very, very interesting price at the moment. Ambiences 7, but I think you get the idea of those ambiences. They are nice. 12. There's a lot of stuff going on. How incredibly long are those samples? It's still changing. It still wasn't looped. Wow. Ambience 16, my sweet 16. I can hear Bernie. I can already hear Bernie telling me, Vast! Here comes Vast on this one. Fairy dust. Check it. Nice. And I think we should head over to the Knights and Box Grand, because in this one, yes, the last ambience 20. Very beautiful. I want this one. Sorry, I want this one here. I want to hear it. I want to hear it on this one, ambience 20. How does it sound? Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, Harmonic Tides. One thing that I want to... Oh, okay. Just to really go through all the categories, because there are 2 categories missing. I only touched them. There are even the sub-synth sustains. You know, sine, warm, square, saw, tooth, soft, and that stuff. Did I show you there? No, there are so many things that I didn't show you. Sub-synth, staccato. That's really deep. And for example, if I go back to the tides, and then here I go to the key span, and I completely low notes to the left, high notes to the right. So even if you see only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knobs, they are 9, 10, 11, 12, because where you have panning, you even have the auto pan. Where you have the vibrato depth, you even have the rate. Where you have the stereo width from mono to 100%, you even have the key span. So know your libraries, really play with them, go through those knobs, go through those faders, check out what they do. I already said you have the X fade between layer 1 and layer 2 that you can choose here just by clicking on layer 1, for example, on layer A, and then you go to layer 2, you click on layer B, and then you can X fade here between them. That's even cool. I already said it, the engine, you can tell from the color coding, really does whatever it does only on that layer. Well done. Those are the engines that I really like. not the engines where you have a options page and then whatever you do there goes through all the sounds that you have somewhere else. Well done, really well done. And now I hope I showed you everything. I showed you already the effects, rec, and this is where we'll go now. So what I prepared was this. I do have here the harmonic tides. Just to show you, I've been choosing one sound here, the resonant all tide, and it does sound like this. We had it before, but go to the effects, rec, take a reverb, switch it on. I showed you here, you click here, you choose then one of the effects that should go in that rec, a rotator, just to show you. It's really cool. Or empty, and there it goes. And you have even the possibility, if I remember well, you know, rec 1 and rec 2. So you have the possibility to have 8 of those effects. And then, for example, here I could go for a screamer. Switch it on. Even here, right click, learn MIDI CC automation. You could even automate those effects. Very interesting, especially if you're a little bit into sound design or would like to make something a little more interesting. You know, if you, yeah, I will talk about it pretty soon, what you can do with those automations. And so what I have here is just a low note. Okay, and now we talk about the Box Grant, another amazing Soundiron library. This is the Knights and Box Grant Delphi, and it's a very old piano library. So I would like to take a new track and then really start from scratch, as I really would like to show you. Man, there are so many libraries in there, and I already cleaned. Okay, there is the Box Grant. So, what's going on? There are 4 layers, and I will switch off 3 of them. So on layer 1 you have microphone 1, and then here you choose what you would like to have here, a tuned, a untuned, dead keys, or only effects. Then you have mic 2, same story, and then you have the ambisynth 1. You can choose between the box piances and the subsynth, and then all those various sounds just like before, and then there is the ambisynth 2. The piano itself sounds like this. Yeah, the piano itself sounds like this. Why doesn't it sound? Yes, because it's soloed here, sorry. So just an old piano. Nice. Then we switch on microphone number 2. Sounds like this. For example, you see, this key is broken. It's an old piano, it happens. Then we switch on the ambisynth number 1 just to see what happens. Because in my opinion this piano is haunted. There are ghosts living in it. I'm not on any pedal, okay? I'm just holding down the keys. the ghosts coming? Basically, you never know what will happen. Even here, yes, you do have the effects, and even here it's the same story. They go on the layer that is switched on, layer 1, layer 2, and so on and so forth. But I like it. And then the ambi-synth number 2, I switch on even this one. So now all 4 layers are playing, and this sounds... This is yeah. If you are on a how do you say, on a time frame, on a timeline, you know, if you get something on Friday and they need it for Monday, then maybe not. But if you're on a fun project, you like a scoring competition and you have weeks of time, or just for yourself or whatsoever, then those libraries, they are so much fun. You never know what happens, you know. Just play with it, record it. Yeah, head over to Soundiron and check out the price. I think if I saw it well before, I'm sure about the Harmonic Tides, they are $29. I think this one is only $19 at the moment. I think so. So, yeah. Again, I hate the word no-brainer, but in my opinion, you know, you have all the pianos that you need. This is the piano maybe that you want. So much stuff going on. And then yes, the thing that I prepared, I have here the Nights in Box Grand, just like it comes, you know, out of the box theoretically. And then I went into the FX rack where I have, so this is the piano, how it sounds, just, you know, as I played it before. Just 2 notes on top of those tides. Okay, and then what did I do? On the piano, I switched on a little bit of shimmer. Sounds like this. Then I switched on the reverb. Sounds like this. And then I switched on a screamer. And this is how our piano sounds. In my opinion, pretty interesting. Because you can tell it once was a piano, but it sounds so much more interesting. So really, if you have a library like the ones of Soundiron with that immense effect rack in it, or Heaviosity, they often even have, you know, all those effects that you can even put then in a chain like this one, you can change the position. If you have external plugins that you use, you know, play with them, put them on your sounds, get interesting sounds, your own just by that stuff. And then the harmonic tides underneath. And this is exactly how you can underscore a movie scene, because what I often see, and I'm self, you know, I'm the first one doing this mistake. I'm now under contract with Malao Film, and on January we probably will start working on the first, for me, feature movie. It's an amazing adventure, an amazing story, but most of the feedback that I get at the moment is always do less, do less, do less, because they tell their story, you know, and you are there to enhance the story, but rarely is it you really, you know, telling the story. It's just, you know, to get out the emotions. So really very often just one note as a layer, and then 2 notes of whatever instrument can really do the job. And for example, this is just one of those examples how you can use a piano library, and in this case I just used harmonic tides to have this sonic foundations with those pictures on top. And yeah, harmonic tides in this case really only did this, only one low note. There you are. The longest piece that I think it was 15 minutes. It was a short movie last year, 2 sides of every coin. And I think it was something like 15 minutes long, and then another 2 short movies, of which one started out pretty cool. Yeah, I should ask them, honestly. I should ask them if by now, because normally you know how it is. If you do those first scoring gigs for upcoming, for movie students or stuff like this, then yes, you get a little bit of money and you get the movie, but you can't use it right away on YouTube, because then, you know, they go through all the film festivals and that stuff. But by now I should be free. So there was this horror movie, and it started out pretty cool, and I was working on the sounds and the soundscapes and all this, and all was pretty cool. And then during the process, it was really like, oh, silence is maybe even better, or only a dark sound. It is so out of the music at the beginning, was I think 5-6 minutes long. There remained something like 20 seconds of music in it at the end, but it worked. You know, it worked. And this is even so important. We really have to put aside our proud and all that stuff, because we are just, you know, one bit in that whole production. And we are just there to do our job. And I think it was Rafael Riviera who once said, you know, if you are a chair maker and you're making chairs, then you will just have chairs in your shop, and someone will come and take it, and you won't be offended, you know, if he wouldn't take the other one, is because you are just making chairs. And in this case, you really have to think about it like we are just making music. And it's the director having the vision and everything, telling you what he wants. And if he doesn't like what you did there, this didn't mean that you know, weren't good or anything. It's just that this chair, to remain with those examples, didn't fit, you know, that client's needs to sit down. So you know, yeah, okay, in this case 20 seconds have been enough for them, and that's good. And then there was another pretty cool project. It was very sad, and I was working with a string library, and I think the only thing I did, I think it is even on. I have a video on YouTube where I present sunset strings. And this video about sunset strings has scenes of this 2 sides of every coin. And I think there is even a video, because I don't remember the string library I used. So I really only faded in a chord, faded it out, and the next chord, faded it in, faded out, stuff like this. But it worked perfectly, because it really brought tears to your eyes. And this is what it was meant to do. And I think for today I'm through, because this is what I wanted to do today. I really wanted to show you harmonic tides, because at that price point, in my opinion, I mean, it depends what you have in your arsenal already, because I can imagine some libraries that come pretty close to this one. If you haven't anything like this, then it's amazing, and it offers a lot. It really offers a lot, especially if you start to play with those layers and those sounds and that stuff. And the Knights and Box Grand, which is a surprisingly cool piano library, because it's so far away from being your average piano library. Even if, you know, if you only use the tuned piano, then it is a beautiful, beautiful old piano, you know, standing at the place of your grandparents, and whenever you go there, this thing is standing there, not being played for ages, and this is how they sound. Yeah, and then yes, there's the untuned. This is the next level of being old. You won't believe it. I was teaching a girl piano lessons last year, and they had a piano standing there since, I think her mother played 30 years ago, and it really was sounding like this. And he wanted our kids then to play something together for Christmas. So her daughter on the piano and my daughter on the violin. And you can imagine, it's near to impossible. Amazing stuff. And then there are the dad keys. So check it out, really, check it out. But, you know, this is just the piano. But switching on the sonic magic that Soundiron can provide, this is what you get. So, one of my favorite is the music is yes, David, yes. How about rolling off some of the attack? Yeah, it should be possible, of course. Let's switch them off again. Sorry, with attack you mean the mechanical noises, which I didn't find on this one. Like on other piano libraries, yes, you do have the pedal noise and the mechanical noise and the hammer noise and all that stuff. I think you can't do it on this one, but in this case, keep in mind the price point, because I think this one really is 20 euros, something like this. And normally the piano libraries where you have, you know, all those faders for the various noises that there are, you know, pedal down, pedal up and that stuff, they have a complete different price point. I mean, yes, I have, you know, the attack, but I can't work on the mechanical noises of that instrument. And I think that's it from my side for today. I hope, as always, I could show you something new. I could show you something that you might add to your toolbox. And in general, Soundiron, they do have. I just meant the attack on the envelope. Ah, okay, you meant the attack. No, yeah, then it's possible. Then it's possible. I showed you here. It is definitely possible. Let me put on those again. If this is what you meant. You do have, of course, the ADSR. You have, even on this one, a vibrato, depth, and rate. Even on this one, you do have the panning. You do have the pitch in semitones or in centitones. So lots of stuff to play with. You don't have the virtual stage on this one, but you still have the effects rack. David, okay. So yeah, as I said, that's it. Check out Soundiron. They have surprising libraries. They really have surprising libraries. My favorite is Ex Machina, and yes, I finally should learn how to program it. Not being a guitar player, you know, I read about all those various techniques, but I have no idea what precisely they do. That's me. Then even the Hyperion String Ensemble I should talk about sooner or later. An amazing string library with really amazing possibilities. Then yes, Quadrille 3, the synthesizer, I talked about it in length. Amazing, even this one. And that's it from my side for today, and 99% sure on Friday, so in 2 days, I will make another live stream, which is yeah. But yeah, they have lots of fun libraries. They have good serious libraries, and even the Apocalypse percussion library is amazing, and even there you have the possibility to drag it to MIDI and vice versa, and that stuff pretty cool. You know how it is. There is Soundiron, there is Spitfire, there's Project Sam, there's Heaviosity, there is many, and especially if you are once in a while, you know, working really on a special time frame, then at least to me it happened, you have your go-to libraries because you know them in depth. For example, my last train score, the 90 seconds, I did it in 1 day. I did it because I said to myself this would be a realistic goal. And of course, if you set yourself a goal like this, then you don't open up the Knights and Box Grand and play around with the sound and try to figure out. No, you open up your go-to library, you put on your go-to effects, and you have a signature sound like this within 10 minutes, and then you have another 50 minutes of time to play in that piano line, and then the next hour you concentrate on whatsoever. But for this is where I just closed the circle now about percussion. For me, my go-to is Damage 2. Are there other good libraries out there? Yes. Is Apocalypse Elements and Percussion and Apocalypse, they have various good? Yes. Are there other good percussion libraries? Yes. For me, you know, my heart is a little bit, you know, on the Heaviosity and on the Project Sam side. So those are more my main go-to. But, you know, then as I prepared today's stream, I stumped again over the Knights Box Grand, and I just found out what a cool library. What a pity I didn't use it on my last train score. It would have been perfect because it's slightly untuned by default and stuff like this. But yeah, I think that's the problem of many people, because just look how many libraries there are, and these are only libraries that I decided to keep. There have been many more which now are on. Yeah, there it is, libraries on this hard disk, just, you know, in case of maybe one day. And yeah, Harmonic Tides is def cool. You played a few patches, Bernie. Don't tell me you already got it. And yeah, so see you then on Friday. On Friday I probably will make a live stream, just a Black Friday live stream. I won't prepare anything, I won't load up any library. It will be just who will be in the chat. Good knowledge. Too late. You know, just whoever will be in the chat, we will just talk about the various developers. What I personally, man, that's personal, you know, that's subjective. What I think about them, what I like, what I dislike, and stuff like this. If you're curious to hear one of the libraries, and if I have it, then yeah, Fluffy Audio. Fluffy Audio. I only recently discovered Fluffy Audio. I mean, they're in Italy. They're only, how much is it? 3.5 hours distant from here. I will visit them very soon. Their Venice Modern Strings. Boah! Their Dominos Choir. Probably the best choir I ever heard. The best choir I ever played. Spaghetti Western. We will do for you a live stream one day about Spaghetti Western. This is one of those libraries. There will be, you know, a beer, not half a beer. There will be a beer, and we will be laughing all the time. There's everything in it that you will need, or that you could need, to score a Western. From whistling to the cowboy to the horse noises to the banjo to the pistol shots to, you know, so. This will be Friday. Friday we'll just talk about libraries that I like, that I dislike, that you like, that you dislike. If you would like to hear them, if I have them, we can play them and stuff like this, just to guide you a little. And that's it, really. Make good music always. We will see each other again on Friday during this Black Friday live stream. On Sunday there will be the prize drawing. I mean, we 99% have our winners. We even today we've discussed long and large about the 3 chosen winners, but you know, we have 11 prizes or 12 prizes, and so the chances of winning something, whoever participated, are very, very high. And there will be the Wheel of Names then with the prizes. This will be on Sunday. And then somewhere next week there will be the Zoom call with Andreas and you, if you would like to participate, where we show each other our scores, where we hear them the very first time. Then there will be a live stream where I just go through my score and the why and how and this stuff. And yeah, that's it. Really, that's it. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks to everyone who was in the chat. Thanks to everyone for joining in. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then, because I see from my statistics, 80% of you aren't subscribed. So then please just, you know, hit that little subscribe button. It's for free. It means a lot to me. And that's it. Have a wonderful evening. See you very, very soon. Bye-bye.